That is our final afternoon game. We move on to the Sunday nighter, and this is going to be so big right here on Pub Sports Radio. And Dennis is saying that he will be betting it tonight. Dallas Cowboys 3-1, 1-1 on the road at the San Francisco 49ers, 4-0, 2-0 at home. We're at Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. Still very warm on the West Coast, warmer than usual. 77 Fahrenheit, sunny, 11 miles per hour is the wind. Let's get into the total here for this one. It's sitting at 44.5 at Pinnacle. It opened up at 45.5, so we have a 1-point move towards the under. Let's get into the spread for this one here as well. We're sitting at a 3.5, 3.5 at minus 108. This opened up at 4. The first move was to 4.5. Now it's come back to 3.5. A very interesting move towards the Cowboys here. Let's get into the cash flow then for this spot. We have on the spread 70% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the San Francisco 49ers. 67% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the under. That's a huge amount of cash on the under. Al Cervix says 49ers minus 3.5 already in. Brady said he bet the Cowboys plus 3.5. He'll be betting the under as well. 3.5 has been a bet waiting on the under. Wanted that 45.5 and missed it. Terry Walker looking at San Francisco. AOD says San Francisco owns Dallas. Harold Williams on the 49ers minus 3.5. We know that the public is going to be all over the San Francisco 49ers here. But I've left a lot of money on the table not betting the 49ers. The whole, sell high, buy low situation has not been working here on this one. So let's go. Cowboys bounce back in a big way after that surprising defeat at Arizona. I mean, they look dominant, feeling good about themselves. They went 38-3. Dak goes 20-34 for 261 yards. And it was Jake Ferguson that led the receivers with 7 catches for 77 yards. Gallup had 5 for 60. And Tony Pollard, we've been talking about this over and over again. Is Tony Pollard going to be able to be the guy game in and game out for a 17-game season? That's the reason why Zeke helped so much, because Zeke was the one who'd hammer in between the hash marks, and now you're asking a lot out of Pollard. And the Cowboys are still dealing with red zone issues, still dealing against red zone issues. 1-4 in the red zone. They put a ton of pressure on Mac Jones. They held the Patriots to 10 first downs. Their defense is now, more comfortable dealing with the Trayvon Diggs loss. And it's Duron Bland now moving to the outside. And he showed that there with 2 interceptions. 49ers coming off yet another easy victory. It's been a very easy run for them in the regular season. 14 straight regular season wins, 35-16 at home versus Arizona. Brock Purdy was almost perfect. I mean, franchise record. He sets the franchise record for completion percentage, 20-21 for 283 yards and a touchdown. 9th time he's won in 9 regular season starts. 49ers have gone over the 30-point plateau in every game this year. Ayuk, 6 catches. He's just a monster right now. McCaffrey ran 20 times for 106 yards and 3 touchdowns, caught 7 passes for 71 yards and a touchdown. He broke Jerry Rice's franchise record for scoring a touchdown his 13th straight game, 395 yards of offense, and they only faced 5 third downs the entire day, 5 for 5 in the red zone. So I agree with this total here being set lower, and I expect the public to be all over the 49ers and the over, but we haven't seen that yet with the total. With the total, we've seen it drop to 44.5, and I think that's a sharp move on the drop, and we see 97% of cash on that under. This is the big one here, Troy. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. We're going to highlight the cappers in the chat as well. This is the big one. We'll be live for it right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers. Take it away.
This is a tough game for me, just because I bet against the Cowboys last week. And, I always start to feel biased, especially recently in the following weeks after what has happened to me recently. But both these teams, especially this is the first competent offense both these teams are playing. Cowboys had the Giants, Cards, Jets, and the Pats. 49ers had Steelers, Rams, Giants, and Cardinals, all of which are ranking in the bottom half of the league. I think that if you can answer 3 questions in this game, you could pick the right side. Are the Cowboys going to be able to generate turnovers versus the San Francisco 49ers? 49ers don't seem to turn the ball over very often. Can the Cowboys stop the run? They're 27th in yards per rush at a little over 4.5 yards per attempt. And can the 49ers protect Purdy? Which they do use play action to their advantage because they're such a great running team. That right side of that San Francisco 49ers line does give me a little hesitation here. I thought I was going to be on the 49ers already because if this number gets down to 3, my database has huge trends that say the Cowboys are the right side in this game. It's just a really tough game. But what has me leaning more heavily towards the Niners at this point is the Cowboys offense in the red zone. They're 30th in the NFL, 1-4 last week versus the Pats, and the lowest depth of target through 4 weeks of football, which is completely just mind-blowing to me, how they've been able to score so much on the defensive side to have all these blowouts that they've had so far this year. This line functionality, too, actually mimics what happened in the wild card game, and that never got down to 3, but it dipped. It first went towards the Niners and then away from the Niners, or excuse me. Yeah, I know the line functionality is the exact same. Come on, there's a lot of games. Cut me some slack. But I think that this is a spot I want to be on the 49ers. The only reason I haven't moved is because I did fade the Cowboys last week unsuccessfully. I will probably have Niners in my pocket when the time comes.
Right now, 90% of the cash on the San Francisco 49ers, 97% of the cash on the under. I think that the under is a nice spot here. But, 44.5 is lower than what I thought it would open up at. I was really hoping for a 46.5 to be on the board. This is going to be a great situation to live bet, a great situation. And the scripted plays from Shanahan, you have to think that the 49ers have an advantage early. If you put up McCarthy's scripted plays for Shanny's scripted plays, we all have seen what the Niners are doing early. They're just putting teams away immediately. And what do you think of that total sitting at from 45.5 to 44.5?
I struggle just because I know that this is the first true test for both these teams. The first competent offense one's faced, the first competent defense the other's faced. I don't have an opinion on the total at all. I could see it going both ways.
I think that the under is going to be my bet. I wonder if that the 45s are just all gone. Sky Dragon says that he has this at like 40. Says anything above 44 is a present. This is going to be a tough football game. I can't be on the 49ers here with 90% of the cash and the market moving, pretty swiftly towards the Cowboys. That's something that I need to respect. Even if I do think that San Francisco should be the side at home, I'm comfortable staying off and knowing that there's an opportunity to move on it live when we're all together. But I expect the under to be on my action, or the decision to bet it tonight. Or I don't think this is going back up. I think that this probably has to be bet tonight. I don't think this is going back up. I think I move on Cowboys 49ers. I think this is a playoff type game. Very, very, very tight. And also, I would imagine that either team is not going to want to open up their entire playbook. I imagine that there's going to be some things that they're going to want to save for the bigger games, and possibly seeing them again in the playoffs. So there you go.
That's a comment I just want to comment on something I seen in the chat. So Fly White Mike, he says, love the Niners. He really hopes the line hits 3. But if it hits that 3 and it closes at that 3, that's not good. Historically, when these lines move towards the road team and land on a home dog +3 or a home favorite +3, 11-4 the road team is against the spread and ATS, or against the spread and straight up.
Wow. Yeah. If this gets 3, I'd be very, very concerned for Niners backers. I expect to bet the under tonight. After talking about it all, I expect to bet it tonight. Cowboys, Niners. That's our Sunday night live stream.